Okay, so welcome to Business Funding LLC, a coaching program. Rock your credit in 6 months or less. It is wonderful to have you on here. My name is Becky Estep. I am the author of this webinar today. This is our first webinar, Business 101. And what I want to go over with you guys today is just like the foundation of business and business credit and how this stuff kind of works. So, business name. You'll want to select a business name. If you already have one of those, there's a lot of things that goes into having a business name. Make sure your business name can be trademarked so that it doesn't include a restricted or high risk industries, and that it can be or is already filed with the state before you build your business further. So if you haven't went down and got an LLC or got incorporated, you want to do that first before you do anything else. Restricted industries. There are several industries that are restricted. In other words, they will automatically be declined for lending. Some of these include Bells Bond, check cashing agencies, gaming or gambling activities, pawn shops. If you are just getting started with a business, one of the two most common business categories that are very lendable are marketing companies and business consulting companies, so business coaching. Wonder how I picked that. These are some other examples of high-risk industries. Now, don't worry if you're a high-risk industry. It's okay. There's still some things that we can do. It's not a big deal. It's just how we want to categorize you whenever we're picking out your codes. The next thing that you want to do is make sure to, whenever you're filling out with the Secretary of State and getting your EIN number and everything, that you're filling it out with a business address. You want to make sure that everything matches. If you started your business at home and then you've moved to an actual business, then you'll want to make sure that that address change is changed with the Secretary of State. P.O. boxes usually throw up a red flag whenever you go to get a loan, because they want to make sure you're a legitimate business. Sometimes people work from home, and what they do is they pick a different type of business address. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is establish a business address. You want to make sure that your business address is in an actual business. There are virtual offices that you can actually use. That way you have a presence whenever you go to get lending. They want to make sure that you're lendable. You also want to make sure that everything matches at the Secretary of State and with Dun & Bradstreet. So maybe you started your business at home. If you started your business at home and now you do actually have a physical address, or if you don't have a physical address yet and you do want to work out of your house, you can always look up virtual addresses. That way, when a bank looks up your address, they see that you are at a business, and you become more likely to be lendable. File a business entity. Have you filed your business entity with the state? So this would be the LLC. You come up with your business name, your business address, then you file a business entity. So an LLC or incorporated sole proprietorship. Typically, sole proprietorship is not lendable, so I wouldn't recommend it. I would do an LLC or incorporated. One of the two are the most popular, especially if you're looking to get lending. Business phone numbers. You want to make sure that you're listed with 411. Why would you want to do this? Because when you walk into a bank and you try to get a loan, they look you up. They make sure that you're listed with 411. It's one of their compliant checklists. They want to make sure that your business address matches. They want to make sure it's not a P.O. box. They want to make sure that you have an LLC and that it's up to date. They also want to make sure that you're listed with 411. So if you're not, or you don't have a business address phone number, there's a few different companies out there that you can use, like ringcentral.com. That'll give you a business address that can be listed with 411. If you need some more information about that, just get with me and I'll get you more information about that. Business online presence. Does your business have a website, a business email, and a Facebook page? Yes. Banks are checking this. So they want to make sure that you're a legitimate business. Before, it used to be, hey, on the internet, none of this stuff is legitimate. But now, if you don't have a website and you don't have a business email address and you don't have a Facebook page, they count that against you now. They want to make sure that, you are real, that you're not just trying to get funding for some fraudulent purpose. So they do check these now. Business EIN. Your business EIN is your tax ID number. So you want to go to irs.gov, and once you go to the Secretary of State and you have your articles of organization, which is your LLC or your incorporated, then you go get your business EIN number, which you can do in the same day. It is a free number. It's what you will file your taxes on, and it is definitely the number that you want to have, because this is what makes you a separate entity from yourself. So this is like having a whole other identity. So this is how you create a new identity for yourself, so that you keep your business separate from your personal. Business licenses. Each industry has a different license. I don't know if what it is that you're going into, what type of license you will need, but every city, state, and county within the United States has different licensing requirements. So you want to make sure that you have all your required licenses for your type of business and location. You'll have to do some research on that and see what you might need. Business bank accounts. So when you go to open up a business bank account, what you'll want to do, because that keeps you separate from yourself, basically your social security number, you have to go get your LLC first, and then get your EIN number, and then the other third piece of paperwork that a bank will want is going to be your operations agreement. So how are you going to run your business? If you need help with that, just let me know and I'll get you the paperwork for that. But basically, you have to have all three of those things to go open up a business bank account, which you will want to have, because that makes your business lendable as well. And sometimes they don't consider your business to have started until you have a business bank account. So you want to do that like the second you start your business. Merchant accounts. A merchant account allows your business to accept credit cards and debit cards. Statistically, customers will spend more if they can purchase by a card. So you want to make sure to get a merchant account if you don't have one already. I know of several good ones. It just depends on what your industry is. Sometimes in high-risk industries, it is harder to get a merchant account, and they do look at your personal credit when you go to apply for a merchant account. They might charge you more. So you will want to make sure that you have a backup merchant account as well, just in case the primary one doesn't work for any reason. Trust me, this has saved me several times. So I think my backup had a backup, which has been really helpful to me. So verify your business information. This step is one of the most important steps in building your business foundation. It is important that all your business records list the same business name, address, contact information exactly. If this information varies, it can cause issues when applying for financing and even lead to getting a decline. Before doing anything else, verify that the following records all list the same correct and current business information. In our program, we ask you several questions, and part of the research that we do is to go make sure that the Secretary of State currently matches your business address. Business licenses match, business bank accounts. We make sure that you are doing all of this stuff. So whenever we start asking you for all this paperwork, that is the point. That is the reason that we want this, because we know that if all this information matches, then you're going to get more likely told yes. And there's a good chance you'll get told no. Sometimes changing one little thing can give you a business credit score and you don't realize it. So we're trying to realize that for you. Establish your DUNS number. So D&B, Dun & Bradstreet, is a business credit bureau. The business's profile is set up with D&B when you apply for a DUNS number. Once you have a DUNS number established, certain trade and credit accounts will report to your business credit payments. So this is how we do this. We make sure that you get your DUNS number, which on my VIP day, we're going to work on this if you don't have one yet. If you already have one, then we're going to look it up and make sure that all the information is correct. So, a lot of times people are like, what is a DUNS number? Well, a DUNS number is a unique 9-digit number that identifies your business credit profile with Dun & Bradstreet, which is one of the 3 major credit bureaus. So there's Dun & Bradstreet, there's Experian, and there's Equifax. A couple of tips on getting started with a DUNS number. One is that a DUNS number is free. So whenever you call Dun & Bradstreet or you're filling out the application, sometimes they tell you that it's $800 to $1,200 to establish your DUNS number and build trade lines on it to get a credit score. And that's just not true. You just make sure to tell them, hey, I want the free number. They'll send it to you in the mail. They say it takes 30 days. Usually it takes a week. So make sure when you're setting up this DUNS number that you use the correct information. Use an actual business address if possible. The addresses, whenever you look it up, make sure to look it up with USPS so that the address matches exactly. Be prepared to answer verification questions about your business, and then make sure your browser is updated to avoid site problems. D&B is kind of a hard thing to work with. Also, whenever you're filling out the application, there's a SIT code. That's a standard industrial classification number. Basically like, hey, it just depends on what you do, what your business is. There's a code for every single business out there. And so you put that code in, and that's how they classify you whenever they do lending. Remember, again, when I was saying about the marketing business or the business coaching business, this is kind of the code for your industry to know if you're lendable or not. So if you're not sure what the code is, you can click on a form and search for it. Entering the keywords brings up options. So once you get that DUNS number, that's whenever we start building business credit on that number. So it's like one of the first steps that we need to do. And again, it'll be included in my VIP day if you do not have that done yet. Business Experian and Equifax. So Business Experian and Business Equifax are the other business credit bureaus. Your Business Experian and Business Equifax reports are established when certain trade or credit accounts report payments to Business Experian or Business Equifax. They're popular, they are used, but they are not nearly as used as Dun & Bradstreet. Dun & Bradstreet was the first business credit report that was ever established. Business Experian and Business Equifax came later, and so they're just not used as much. How do you establish Business Experian and Business Equifax reports? Your Business Experian and your Business Equifax reports are created automatically as your business creditors report. You need to apply for business credit. Make sure select creditors that report to Business Experian or Business Equifax. Some only report negative credit history. Sometimes you are not approved the first time because the records do not match the information you have given. Follow up with the creditor to find out why the business was not approved. Sometimes all it takes is a simple phone call to turn a decline into an approval. Next, make a purchase. Wait for the invoice or the bill to be generated and make a payment. Now here's the key. Make sure to pay your bill on time. Late payments really hurt your business credit scores. It typically takes one billing cycle, about 30 days for companies to report business credit bureaus and another 30 days for the bureaus to show up on the credit reports. This means that it could be around 60 days to show up on your business credit profile. It is recommended once credit is established that you apply for increases as allowed by the creditor, usually 3 months to a year. Doing this builds your credit history further. Lenders tend to use the highest credit amount reported. So if your limit is $3,000 and you get it increased to $5,000, then the next creditor you apply to is more likely to make your starting limit $5,000. So All of this is very important. This is the things that we're going to be taking you through to do. Some companies only report every quarter, so it's good to report and apply for a few different accounts. And so in our system, we know what reports to Experian and Equifax and Dun and Bradstreet, and they don't report to all three all the time. So we kind of play with that and get different trades for different accounts so that you can build all three profiles at the same time. Trade accounts. What is a trade account? A trade account, sometimes referred to as a vendor account. It is typically a store account. As you set up your accounts with various vendors, make sure you are working towards setting up net terms. Payments on net terms are reported to the business credit bureaus. If you pay right away at the time of the purchase, not on net credit terms, your payment will not be reported to the business credit bureaus. So, when applying for trade accounts, make sure to use your correct business information as it matches on all your business records. Basically what this means, the trade account, the net account, you buy something and you pay it off. So to get the highest business credit score possible, which is 100 or 99, set up net 30 terms and then turn around the very next day and pay it off. So don't wait 30 days to pay it off. And it's not like personal credit, like if your bill is due, whatever the due date is, like if you have an invoice and you have 30 days to pay it, if you pay it at that next day, you don't have 30 days from the date that the payment's due. You have to pay it before. So the best way to do it is to set up net 30 terms and then pay it off the very next day. Order something and then pay it off the next day. You can get a 99 score doing it that way. Setting up trade accounts. To make sure your vendor reports, make sure your purchase is over $50. This is the part that we help do for you. This is on our VIP day. We will help you set up your accounts, place orders, make payments, and monitor the reports for you. There's several different companies listed here that you can go to, and we're currently and always adding more as we come across them. If you have a vendor that you locally use right now, like Lock Supply or a few other ones, you'll just want to make sure that they report to business credit. So talk to your advisor, i.e. me, about the trade accounts which would best match your business and needs, and will help you get the requirements for your first order. So for the next 90 to 120 days, this is our focus. We're going to set up a VIP day and we're going to go through all of these so that we figure out which 3 or 4 you're going to pick for your business to get you started and on your way to getting that business credit score as fast as possible so that you can start applying for business credit cards that actually give you some purchasing power. Let me know what questions you have and have a wonderful day.